Welcome back to the Washington Nationals MLB 26 franchise. We left off last episode here in the middle of May. We are 27-20, 2 games back of the Mets, 1 game behind the Phillies, only 1 game ahead of the Braves. And we have a big 4-game series at Atlanta, followed by 3 at home against Philadelphia. We're going to kick off this episode by pitching in this first game with Andrew Alvarez against Dean Kramer. I'm actually going to play the entire game. I'm going to bat, I'm going to pitch, and I'm going to edit down the game to key moments. Not going to show the entire game. And then we will live quick sim these games to get us into not this start with Roki, but probably the Saturday or Sunday game against the Phillies. Do the same thing, hop in, play the whole game, cut down the highlights, and get on to the rest of the season. We'll probably do another game somewhere here in the middle, maybe against Miami. Make sure we show all of our division opponents. And then once we get that done, we will be down here somewhere in the beginning of July, and I will give you my last scouting, draft prospect scouting list. I'll show you the guys we have fully scouted, so probably right here on the 3rd of July. We'll put that list together, show you who we're looking to target. I think I've already made my decision for the first overall pick, but I want to have more time for discovery and see if we can find some other gems. But that's what we're going to do in this episode. You'll get 3 games where we actually play the game, edit that down, get rid of all the boring parts, and go from there. And then we'll kick off the next episode after this one with the draft right off the rip at the start of the episode. Get into, I don't think we'll have anybody in the home run derby, and we'll just sim the All-Star game and Futures game and then get them to the rest of this month so we can get to the trade deadline and see if we're going to make any moves. Depends on how we do. We got a lot of games against the Dodgers, Phillies, so we've got our hands full to stay in this race. But right now we're going to get in here, get this first game against the Braves going, and hopefully we can keep building this team up. Before I get in there, I will tell you this. On the trade hub, I have already identified 2 relievers, Anthony Bender and Jason Foley. Remember Foley from my Angels franchise. Need to improve our bullpen just a little bit more. Both of these guys are on the trade block, so I'm going to see if we can get a cheaper, more experienced reliever to help fill out our bullpen and help us to stay in this race. So let's get into this game against the Braves right now. And we travel to Truist Park, travel to Atlanta to take them on. Very tight race early in the season. In the National League East, Dean Kramer on the mound. See his numbers on the season. A little elevated ERA, whip's pretty decent though. 2-2 record in 9 starts. First man he's going to face is leadoff hitter C.J. Abrams. He's second on the team with 11 home runs this year. 2-2 count on him. Here's a pitch and misses a pitch in the dirt. Throw down to first, and there's the first out of the game. Abrams doesn't make contact on that nasty down and in pitch. Now to bring in Luis Garcia, second baseman. See his numbers on the season. For a little bit higher average, definitely a little more pop. Nobody on, 1 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Kramer. It's going to be a high fly ball into left field. Santander is going to drift over to his right, and he's got that for the second out. Braves wearing their throwback uniforms back to the 70s, and that'll bring in James Wood hitting .299 with 15 homers, 36 ribs. Our leading hitter, our top hitter, our major stud in the organization, and he's going to rip this shot to left, and Santander is going to have that. So quick 1-2-3 inning to start this game as we go to the bottom of the first. See if Andrew Alvarez can keep these guys shut down. And there he is, the lefty, Alvarez, 4-1 on the season. Very good ERA. Even better whip if he can get his walk rate down. Hopefully he can get that strikeout rate up as well. He's been a pleasant surprise, and he's going to face catcher Drake Baldwin to lead off here at the bottom of the first. And the 0-1 pitch is a line drive right to Garcia at second base for the first out. There you go, good start by us. See the Braves lineup on the day. They moved Olsen out of the leadoff spot, which was silly to begin with. It looks like they have a bunch of guys resting, as we don't see Acuna and Alvarez and Wisely at the bottom of the order. Here's Olsen hitting a nice .297. Home runs are down, though. 8 home runs at this point. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Alvarez, and it's going to be a tapper up the middle. Garcia's got it. Throw to first, and they are 2 down. Good. Love that. Nobody on base now, and that'll bring up Ozzie Albies one of the toughest batters when I'm actually pitching. He is so short that it feels like everything you have to throw him is right down the middle. He usually parks one per game. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Alvarez to him, and it's going to be a tapper to third. Backhanded by Wilkin, throws from the line, and a scoop there at first by Clifford gets him. And a nice 1-2-3 inning for us as well. So we're through one inning, and there is no score. And neither team would do anything much in the second inning, so we're going to go to the top of the third. Dylan Cruz going to lead things off, having a great season. Been a very pleasant surprise for the last season and a half, not quite a half, and it pitches up and in and almost hits him, so he's going to draw a leadoff walk here in the third inning. If we can get something going, that'll bring in Brock Wilkin, the Rule 5 draft pick, our starting third baseman. Got to get that average up, got to get that power up. Batting him down in the order, so there's no pressure. There goes Cruz, pitches a strike, throw down, and he's in with a stolen base. So now the Nats will have a man in scoring position. See, that's his 14th bag of the season. Gets a good jump. And in there easily, not even close. So as I was saying, nice close up there. Love those Braves uniforms too. Now we have a man in scoring position and nobody out. Wilkin down on the count 0-2 though. Here's a pitch, and there's going to be a ground ball to the right side. Ozzie Albies gets it, throws the first, and Wilkin is retired, but Cruz moves over to third base, so Wilkin does his job, and now it's up to C.J. Abrams. Drive that runner home from third with less than 2 outs. He's down on the count 1-2. Here's a pitch, and it's going to be a shot into right field, and that's going to drop, and we're going to be on the board. There we go. Clutch RBI by Abrams. Comes through and gives us the 1-0 lead here in the third inning. That'll bring in Garcia. There he goes. There's go Abrams. Throw down, and he's in safely as well. Baldwin has had no chance with either of these stolen bases. Now I have another man in scoring position with 1 out for Garcia. Here's the pitch to him. There's a pop-up behind the plate. Baldwin backing up a few steps, and he'll have that for the second out. Garcia fails to come through. That'll bring in James Wood. Going to get a 2-out RBI here. Man on second and 2 outs. 1-0 game. Down to count 1-2. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a shot right into right field. And Eli White's going to have that. Barely has to move for the third out. But we do get on the board with that clutch RBI by C.J. Abrams. Lead 1-0 after 2.5. We're skipping all the way to the bottom of the 5th inning. Still 1-0 pitcher's duel. Anthony Santander going to lead things off. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Alvarez, and here's a ground ball to second base. Garcia's got that. Throw to first, and there's 1 down. Braves still looking for their first hit in this game. Right fielder Eli White's going to come in. He's 0 for 1 with a line out. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him, and it's going to be a little broken bat nubber up to first base. Clifford's got it, and he beats him to the bag for the second out. Severe jam shot there, and that'll bring in Michael Harris now with nobody on and 2 out. And there's a ground ball to the right side, and it gets by Garcia into right field. So the Braves will have their first base runner of the game, first base hit of the game, I should say. That'll bring in Taylor Walls, the DH, with 1 on and 2 out. And the 0-1 pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball to the same spot. Garcia can't get to that one either. So the Braves get back-to-back 2-out hits. Garcia's range is a question on both those balls, and that'll bring in Alvarez with 2 on and 2 out. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Alvarez has it, throws the first, and he gets out of that 2-out little mini rally as we hang on to this 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning after we went down 1-2-3, and there's a little bunt down the third base line. Wilkins going to pick that up, throw to first, and he's not going to be in time. Bunt single by Wisely. Leadoff man on now for the Braves here in the 6th. That'll bring in Drake Baldwin. Here's a 2-2 pitch to him. That's going to be a ground ball through that same hole on the right side. The third hit into that spot. And the Braves get their first 2 men on here in the 6th. Offense starting to heat up for them. That'll bring in a dangerous hitter in Matt Olson. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And it gets knocked to the side by Ruiz. Throw down to third. And it gets by the third baseman down the left field line. And that's going to tie the game as the throw comes back in. It was a wild pitch and then E2 on the throw. Now we have a man on second with nobody out. 1-1 game. 3-2 pitch to Olson. Just misses for ball 4. So now they have 2 men on again. Alvarez really struggling here in the 6th. And that's going to be it. I'm going to take him out of the game before we lose the lead. Good going until the last 2 innings, and then all of a sudden it's starting to fall apart here. We're going to go bring in the right-hander, Andre Granillo, see his numbers on the season. He has been excellent. Just got to worry about that average against left-handed batters, and Albies, the switch hitter, is going to flip around and bat left-handed now. So we have 2 on and nobody out, 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Not the pitch he was looking for. Huge strikeout there as the runners stay where they are. That'll bring in Santander. He's still a dangerous hitter, even though it doesn't look like it by his stats this year. 2 on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a shot past third, down the line, fair, off the side wall. That's going to plate another run as the throw comes in by Lyle. And they're going to have men at the corners with 1 out, and the Braves are now up 2-1. They're just death by 1,000 cuts with all these singles. Here's replay. Inside out's the pitch. And just puts it inside the foul line. Now we're down 2-1. That'll bring in right fielder Eli White. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Really could use a ground ball double play to get out of this jam. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's going to be a shot to short. One hopper. Abrams throws. Garcia was away from the bag. And that's going to cost us a double play. We do get the force at second. But that's going to be an RBI ground out. Now it's 3-1 with Michael Harris stepping in. 1 on and 2 outs. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball into right field. Cruz settles under it. And we get out of that. But we do give up 3 runs in the inning. Now we find ourselves down 3-1 after 6. And leading off for the Nationals here in the 7th, going to be center fielder Jacob Young. See, he's 0 for 2. Got a decent season going so far, though. Heading to count 1-0. Alex Vesia on the mound now for the Braves. And here's a high fly ball in the shallow left field. Santander on the run, and he's got it. I don't know where the shortstop was on that play, but long way to go, and he gets it for the first out. And that'll bring in Dalen Lyle. He's 0 for 2. Only hitting .236 with 1 home run. We got to get him going. He's very important in this offense. Got a full count now. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball foul past first base. A little early on that pitch. Going to reset again. Full count. Nobody on. 1 out here in the 7th. Here's Vesia's pitch. There's a shot to right, and that one's not coming back. Way out of here. Dalen Lyle. Sometimes you got to speak it into existence, and there you go. See you later. Solo shot gets us back to a 1-run game. Now we're just 1 swing away from having a tie ball game. He absolutely crushed that pitch into right field, just to the left of the foul pole. Maybe that'll get our offense jump-started again. And the guys in the dugout are excited about it. See this replay. Down and in, and he just turned on it. 375, exit velo 96 miles an hour. And we're going to see Dylan Cruz step in now with nobody on and 1 out. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, stolen base, and a run. See if he can get a rally started again. He's got a 3-2 count now. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a ground ball second base. Ozzie Albies has it. Throw to first, and there are 2 down. That's going to bring in Brock Wilken. And before that at-bat, they're going to the pen. Looks like they went to the pen 2 batters too late. And that's going to be it for Vesia. And they're going to bring in the right-hander, Robert Suarez. See his numbers on the year. God-awful ugly. 420 average against righties, 349 against lefties, a 6.53 ERA. See if we can get something going here with 2 outs. Brock Wilken, 1 for 2 with a double. See if he can get his second hit of the day and get a 2-out rally going. He's down to count 1-2. Here's the pitch from Suarez. And it's going to be a smash to first, snag by Olsen. Race to the bag for the 3rd out. That'll end the top of the 7th inning. But Dalen Lyle brings this back to a 1-run game with this missile to right field. So we're down 3-2 after 6.5. Now we're jumping to the top of the 9th inning. Aroldis Chapman is the new closer for the Braves. He's going to come in and try and shut this door, as it says on the scoreboard. Get the Braves a win. I'm not sure when they picked him up, but he is now their closer. See his numbers on the year, 15 out of 15 on save situations. First man he's going to face, catcher Keibert Ruiz, 0 for 3 on the day. Expecting more out of him offensively. Didn't count 3-1 though. Here's the pitch, and it's high and outside for a ball, so Ruiz draws a leadoff walk. That's the tying run. We're going to sub him out for Drew Milas. Going to pinch run and stay in the game and catch if we can somehow tie this game up. And we're also going to the bench for a pinch hitter. Chaparro's going to come in and pinch hit for Ryan Clifford. Want that righty against lefty matchup. Chapman's first pitch. It's a line drive over second. That's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Milas around second, on his way to third. Chaparro heading to second base. And they're going to hold him at third base. So now we're going to have second and third and nobody out. So you get the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. Clutch pinch hit there by Chaparro. Has the bench all fired up. Now it's Jacob Young's turn to get this game tied. All he has to do is hit a ground ball to the right side or ball to the outfield. Down and count 1-2. Can't strike out here. Here's a tapper to first base. Olson's got it. Races to the bag as Milas comes in and scores. Now this game is tied as Chapman blows the save, his first of the year. Now we're going to pinch run for Chaparro with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. More speed in case we hit a fly ball. Now bring in Lyle with the big home run his last time. Go ahead, run at third with one out. Here's a line drive into right field. That's going to get down and go to the wall, and that's going to give us the lead. Lyle around first, heading for second. White overruns the ball. Lyle is on his way to third. He never slowed down, and he is in with a triple. There we go. Dalen Lyle waking up late in this game. And now we're up 4-3. All of this off of Aroldis Chapman. Let's look at this replay. Just rips that pitch into the gap. And then White didn't help himself out by overrunning the ball right there. But Lyle didn't slow down. He's in easily. Now we just need a fly ball and have a 2-run lead. And they're going back to the pen. That's it. Their closer's out of this game. Like I said, his first blown save of the season. See who they're going to bring in to replace him. It's going to be another left-hander. It's going to be Dylan Lee. See his numbers on the season. Does really well against lefties, not so well against righties. The first man he's going to face is a righty, Dylan Cruz, 0 for 2. Just need another ground ball to the right side. High fly ball to the outfield, get a sac fly. It's down to count 1-2 though. Here's the pitch from Lee. And, strike 3 in the inside upper corner there. He thought it was a ball. First strikeout for Lee. See this replay. And it's the letter high inside corner. So now it's going to take a hit from Brock Wilken now. He's 1 for 3 with a double. Needs a hit. Expand this lead. Here's the pitch. And he chases a slider down and in and strikes out. So Lee comes in. Gets 2 big strikeouts for the Braves. And not before we put up 2 runs in the inning. Chase Chapman out of this game. And now we're up 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And coming in out of the pen, our closer, Pete Fairbanks. See what he's done on the season. He's only blown 1 game all season. Excellent numbers there. Been a great free agent signing. Now he's going to come in and try and shut this down and get us a huge win here in Atlanta. Anthony Santander, 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Leading off, he can tie it with 1 swing of the bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and swing and a miss, and he strikes out on the high 4-seamer. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the 9th. And that'll bring in Eli White, the right fielder, 0 for 3. Just played that ball into a triple last half inning. 2-2 pitch, and he takes strike 3 on the backdoor slider. And Fairbanks comes in and strikes out the first 2 guys this inning. See this replay. White thought it was outside, and it just snapped off at the end and caught the corner. There we go. Now it's going to come down to Michael Harris. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Tying run. Last chance here for the Braves in the 9th. He's down in count 1-2. Here's the pitch, and he takes strike 3 at the letters, and Fairbanks comes in and strikes out the side in the 9th. And the Nationals blew an early lead, came back, and beat up on Aroldis Chapman, and we get the dub in Game 1. Huge Game 1 win. And this young team is just full of excitement. No quitting them as Beaks get the win. Aroldis Chapman with the loss, and Fairbanks with his 18th save, and we get the win in Game 1 of this huge series in Atlanta. Check out this box score and see Lyle's the only one that had 2 hits in the game, but they are 2 important hits. It was a triple and a home run, drove in 2. See, Wilkin and Chaparro had big doubles as well. Stolen bases by Abrams and Cruz, and Alvarez was cruising along till that 6th inning, ends up giving up 3 runs, but the bullpen bails him out. Only 2 hits allowed in the last 4 innings, and Fairbanks with a huge 9th for his 18th save. Go to their side. Walls had 2 hits. Kramer didn't pitch poorly, but Chapman did in a 9th, and they paid the price as we win Game 1, 4-3. And what a thrilling come from behind victory that was. Can't believe we did all that off Aroldis Chapman. I also can't believe they have Bednar setting up for Chapman. That's a nasty bullpen. And now we go to Game 2, Cade Cavalli against Spencer Strider. Cavalli struggling just a little bit at this point. We're going to hit triangle and see if we win this game or not. Maybe throw us into a critical situation. Here we go. And we win 5-0. Wow. 3 hits for Wood, 2 hits for Milas, 2 hits for Young. Dalen Lyle hits another home run. Abrams and Young with steals. Cavalli, complete game, 3 hits shutout, 7 Ks, 1 walk. Wow. Got the Strider early, 5 runs on 7 hits and 2 walks and 3 1/3. Their bullpen shut us out the rest of the way, but didn't need anything when our pitcher's throwing a 3-hit shutout. Now we go to Game 3, Mitchell Parker against Dean Kramer. See if this ends up being a critical situation or not. No, we win 6-1. We've won the first 3 games of the series. Luis Garcia, Jacob Young, and Dylan Cruz with home runs. We may have to move Cruz up to batting cleanup because Keibert Ruiz is, while he had a good game so far, here, 3 walks for Wood. Well, Ruiz is doing okay. Cruz is crushing it down there at the bottom of the order. Mitchell Parker, 1 run, 4 hits, 3 walks, 4 Ks in 6 innings. Granillo with a hold, and Weissert finishes it off. And we are now tied with the Mets for first in the National League East. Phillies 2 games back. Go to Game 4. Brad Goodlord. Every time he pitches, it's an adventure against Reynaldo Lopez. Can we get the sweep? No, we lose 3-2. That's fine. 2 hits for Wood, gets an RBI. Lord doesn't pitch poorly. 7 hits and 4 innings is a bit much, but only 3 runs. Bullpen did their job. Offense didn't. Lopez, 5 shutout innings. We got 2 more runs off Chapman in the 9th. He held on and got the save. Now I come back home for a 3-game set against the Phillies, where we go back on the road to Baltimore and Chicago. First game, Roki Sasaki against Zach Wheeler. Hit triangle, see what we can do in the fast sim. And we win 2-0. Wow, Roki gives up 1 hit with 12 Ks and 3 walks. My goodness, Zach Wheeler didn't pitch poorly at all. Our side, CJ Abrams with a 2-run shot. We only had 2 hits. There were only 3 hits in this entire game. Sasaki threw 5 no-hit innings, 6 Ks, 3 walks. Didn't give up a hit until the 7th inning. Fairbanks gets his 19th save. And there was 3 hits in that game. And we win, beat the Phillies, and now we are in first place, a half game ahead of the Mets. Wow. Alvarez against Jesus Luzardo, Game 2, and we lose 6-4. Schwarber hits a home run, his 15th. They gave up 3 runs late, but Duran came in and closed it out. James Wood, a double, a triple, drives in 3. Alvarez gives up 5 runs in 3 innings. Bullpen does really well. Beeks, though, gave up 1 late. And our offense just couldn't make up the difference. Now we're back to a half game out. And it's time to go look at our scouting again. Trying to get a look on this third baseman here. Kind of tight splits. But he's really got good bats, good defense. And he might just be one of those that tops out in the 82 potential range. But he's still 70, 69, something like that. Wouldn't be a bad guy to add to the organization. Discovered another outfielder, but he doesn't look like anything but a glove and speed. Typical San Diego Studios build. And right now, Jeremy Dunbar looks like a solid lock for the number 1 pick. Potential 84-94 with his overall being 71-81. So he looks like he's going to be a solid B in the 70s. Play all three outfield plus first base. Alejandro Hernandez came in a little overrated. Same thing with Perry Carroll, came in a little overrated. As well as Andy Brandon, trying to find a catcher there, and he's got great power, but nothing else. On the pitching side, Pete McKinnon, ranked number 4, guaranteed B in the 60s, 21 years old. Clutch is a bit low. Good contact, good hit per 9 against lefty and righty. Stamina is going to be on the lower end, though. Nick Fielder doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like he's enough to overtake the outfielder. Escalera, guaranteed B in the 60s. Going to have lower stamina, low clutch. There's another one guaranteed in the Bs, but he might be in the high 50s, low 60s at 21. Brady Winters, overrated. Got a non-rated Bernard Merca here. Get him scout out. He's got low control, though. That's not good. Another one who might come out with a high potential, but an overall below 60. Not really interested in that. Boggs is overrated. Suzuki doesn't look bad, but he may be one of those that comes in as a low B in the high 50s. Lyle Chavez, probably going to be a high C, low B in the 50s somewhere. Low clutch as well. Alfredo Jimenez looks like a high C, low B in the 60s. Good hits per 9 against left. Good stamina, decent clutch. Control's a bit of an issue. 5-pitch mix, though. Try and wrap this one up with Samuels. I don't think he's going to be great, but we'll go one more week with him, and then we're going to start working on guys for the second and third rounds. And after splitting the first 2 games against the Phillies, we have Game 3 here on Sunday. We have a 1-game lead over them. We're a half game behind the Mets. So let's hop in here and pitch with Cade Cavalli, bat with the Nationals as they take on Aaron Nola and the Phillies. And we're back home at Nationals Park with this big game against the Philadelphia Phillies. You can see we're separated by 1 game in the standings, and Dylan Cruz has been on fire lately, one of our hottest hitters. You can see in his last 6 games hitting .421. Wish he had more than 1 home run, 1 RBI, but we'll take the 1206 OPS. He's being rewarded today by moving up in the batting order. See Cade Cavalli on the mound for us, 4-2 with a .426 ERA. And good walk rate. Whip is up because he's given up more hits than innings pitched at this point. He's got to get that under control. First man he's going to face is Brandon Marsh, the center fielder. Leading things off for the Phillies. He's down a count 1-2. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball at first. Backhanded by Clifford. He races to the bag, and there's 1 quick out. There we go. Nice defense there by the lefty at first base. You can see the Phillies lineup, star-studded. A lot of power in the top half of that order, not so much towards the bottom. And up next is DH Kyle Schwarber. Won the MVP of the All-Star Game of 2025. He's crushing it with the average and home runs this year. He's a 3-2 pitch to him, and that's up and in for ball 4. So Schwarber's going to get on first base runner of this game. And that's going to bring in shortstop Trey Turner, having a good season as well. 1 on and 1 out. 2-2 count on him. Here's a pitch, and strike 3 at the knees on the inside corner. Fooled him, and that was a great location by Cavalli. See this replay. And he just paints it at the knees. No chance for Turner. And that'll bring in Bryce Harper with 1 on and 2 out. 2-2 count. Here's a shot in the left center field, and that's going to get down and go off the wall. As Lyle gets the ball back in, and Schwarber's going to come all the way around from first and score, and this is a 1-0 game now for the Phillies as Bryce Harper comes through with a 2-out clutch RBI, driving that pitch the other way. Lucky that ball stayed in the park. You see the wind blowing straight from center field towards the left field line, and Schwarber, not known for his speed, can barreling around third base and gets in. That'll bring in third baseman Willie Castro now with 1 on and 2 out. The first pitch to him is a ground ball to third base. Got that throw across the diamond, and that's the 3rd out. So Phillies use some power, extra base power from Bryce Harper to take a 1-0 lead in this all-important game here early in the season. And on the mound for the Phillies, Aaron Nola. See his numbers on the year. You guys on my channel remember him when I had him with the Rockies, and he threw a perfect game against the Cardinals in the ALDS to send us to the ALCS. You still see that on the channel if you go look in the Rockies playlist. First man he's going to face is our shortstop, C.J. Abrams. 1-1 count on him. Here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball down the left field line. Foul territory behind third, and that's going to be caught by Castro for the first out. Here's a look at our lineup. As I said, Dylan Cruz moved up to 4, moved Ruiz down. He wasn't doing the job, and Cruz is getting rewarded for having a great start to this season. That'll bring in Luis Garcia, the second baseman. Nobody on and 1 out. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. And, strike 3 on the inside corner. He thought it was a ball. And that's going to be the second out of the inning. That'll bring in our stud, James Wood. See his numbers on the year. 308, 15, and 40. Having another great season. Down on count 0-2, though. Here's the pitch from Nola. And, he swung over the knuckle curve and missed that. Fooled him badly. We go down 1-2-3. It's still 1-0 Phillies after 1. We're going to pick it up in the bottom of the second. Phillies went down 1-2-3 in the top half. Dylan Cruz stepping in. His first game hitting in the cleanup spot this year. Here's the pitch from Aaron Nola to Cruz. And it's going to be a smash to short, backhanded by Turner. Throws the first, and he gets him easily for the first out of the inning. That'll bring in Dalen Lyle, hero of that game against the Braves, with the triple and the home run late. Nobody on and 1 out, 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Nola. And it's going to be a ground ball second base. Stott has that. Throw to first. 2 quick outs for our side. Offense struggling to get going early in this game. That'll bring in Keibert Ruiz. See his numbers, 229, 4, and 22. OPS under 700. He is really struggling. Got a 2-2 count on him. Here's the pitch from Nola. And it's going to be a little shot over short, and that's going to get down into left center field as Marsh cuts it off. So we're going to have a 2-out single by Ruiz. See if he can generate a 2-out rally here. That'll bring in Ryan Clifford. 277 with 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. I like the average. The power numbers aren't quite there. Expected more out of him on the home run side. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it's going to be a little flare over third. It's going to drop, and that's going to be a base hit. Ruiz stops at second base, so now we have 2 men on and 2 out. The Nationals, a little 2-out rally going here in the second. Trying to get this game tied up. Center fielder Jacob Young steps in now. Looking for a... He's going to have to put one in the gap or over the wall to get Ruiz in from second base. 2 on, 2 out here in the second. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a fly ball into right field. And that's going to be caught for the third out. So, made things interesting, but we don't get any runs. Aaron Nola pitching out of trouble. We're still down 1-0 after 2. Go to the top of the third. Catcher Jake Rogers leading things off for the Phillies. First pitch to him. And a little broken bat jam shot to first. Clifford's got that for the first out. The bat goes farther than the ball.
Up next for Philadelphia.
See Cavalli's arsenal and his usage so far today. Hasn't used the cutter or circle change much at all. They'll bring in Brandon Marsh with nobody on and 1 out. Grounded out his first time, 0 for 4 in the series. Down on the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. And it's a little fly ball into left field. Lyle on the run. Oh, and he missed it. Bad angle. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And Marsh is going to have an extra base hit. As Lyle played that single, should have been caught for a flyout, but he played it into a double. So now the Phillies have the man on second base with 1 out, and Schwarber up. And here's a ground ball to first. Clifford's got it. He'll step on the bag, but Marsh is going to go to third. There will be 2 outs, so now it's going to take a hit by the Phillies to get that runner home. That man is Trey Turner. He's 1 for 10 in the series with a triple. If you can make him 1 for 11. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there's going to be a shot in the right field, and that's going to drop and be a base hit, and the Phillies are going to be up 2-0. That's twice now they've come through with 2-out hits to drive in the run. That'll bring in Harper, that RBI double in the first. He's down on the count 0-2. Here's the pitch, and swings and misses and strikes out on the cutter. But the damage is done. Trey Turner comes through. Base hit to right field. Gives it a 2-0 lead after 2.5. And we're going to hop all the way to the top of the 8th inning. This game has been a serious pitcher's duel. Nothing much going on for either team. Very few base runners at all. See, Lucchese's number has been outstanding this season. And leading things off is going to be a catcher, Jake Rogers. It's 1 for 2 with a single in the game. He's got a full count. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses and strikes out on the sinker, and that's how we start the top of the 8th inning. That'll bring in Brandon Marsh. 1 for 3 with a double. Full count on him. Here's a pitch from Lucchese. And it's a little shot over third. That's going to get down and go to the corner again. Lyle can't cut it off. Marsh going to be in with his second double of the game. Same location both times. Now the Phillies will have a man on second and 1 out. Kyle Schwarber at the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch to him. Here's a ground ball second base. Diving stop. Knocked down by Garcia. Throw to first. And he just gets him at first base. What a play. Saves a run by keeping that in the infield. And he gets the out. See this replay. He's had trouble going to his left. In games we've watched, he somehow knocks the ball down, looking around for it, and finds it. There he is, by his foot. And Schwarber's just slow enough that he gets him by half a step. Now to bring in Turner now with a man on third and 2 out. He's 1 for 3 with a 2-out RBI single. See if we can keep him from doing that again. And he's going to strike him out with a high fastball. There we go. So we give up a double, strand the man in third. After 7.5, we're still down 2-0. And coming in out of the pen for the Phillies, right-hander Brad Keller. See his numbers on the season. I'm going to try and keep this at 2-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Our guys are going to try and rally off of that. Elvis Martinez playing third base today, giving Wilkin the day off. See, he's really, really struggling this season. Down to count 1-2. Here's the pitch, and he swings at a high fastball and strikes out. So his woes continue at the plate. And that'll bring in Abrams. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Need to get him on base so he can use his legs to get in scoring position. He's down to count 1-2. Here's the pitch. And he hits him in the back, so he is going to get on base. And that'll give us a speed shot there at first base. He's going to go on the first pitch. We're sending him. There's a pitch from Keller. There he goes. Strike, throw down, and he's in easily with the stolen base. Anytime Cruz or Abrams gets on, they're going. First pitch. See this replay. Really good jump, and from his knees, he had no chance. All right. Got a man on second, nobody out. I'm sorry, man on second, 1 out. Garcia up. There's a shot in the left center field, and that is going to drop, and that's going to be a base hit. Abrams had to wait to see if it was going to be caught, so he doesn't score on the play. So Garcia does get a hit, but it doesn't score a run. That's going to bring in James Wood, 1 for 3 today, 3 for 10 in the series. Needs a home run for the cycle in the series. Home run here would give us a 3-2 lead. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Keller. And way out in front of this circle change and strikes out. Huge strikeout for the Phillies. And they're going to the pen as Keller's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. And they don't want to chance a tired pitcher giving up the lead. And racing in is going to be their closer, Joan Duran. He's 20 out of 21 this year. Great season for him. And he's going to have to get a 4-out save in this game. First man he's going to face Dylan Cruz. He's 0 for 3 on the day, 2 for 9 in the series. He definitely can tie this game with one swing of the bat. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. And low, ball 3. Dalen Lyle on deck. You know he has extra base power. See if Cruz can draw a walk and load the bases. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch from Duran. And it is inside, ball 4. So Cruz draws a walk. Pushes the tying run to second base. And Dalen Lyle, 1 for 3 with a single. Could be a hero again. He was against the Braves earlier this episode. Bases loaded, 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. There's a high fly ball into shallow right field, and that's not going to get the job done. As Duran and the Phillies get out of the bases loaded jam, keep a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Best performance by them, not for us. And here in the bottom of the ninth inning, Keeper Ruiz going to lead things off. They went down 1-2-3 in the top half. See if Ruiz can get on and get a rally started here. He's down on count 1-2. Here's the pitch, and swings and misses on a sweeper that almost hit him. Nasty pitch that just broke in hard, and he strikes out. Looks foolish while he does so. Now to bring in Clifford, 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Need to get him on base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a smash to short, snagged by Turner. Throw to first, and there are 2 down here in the bottom of the ninth inning. That's going to bring it down to Jacob Young. Our last chance. Needs to get on base, bring the tying run to the plate. He's down on the count 0-1. Here's the pitch from Duran. And it's a smash right up the middle past the pitcher, and we do get him on base. So now we do have the tying run coming to the plate. It's going to be Aurelvis Martinez, and we're going to the bench. Going to bring in Robert Hassel. Got a little more power and a little more contact as well. So 1 on, 2 out. It's down to count 0-2 though. Here's the pitch to Hassel, and swing and a miss on that sweeper, that nasty sweeper. Can't lay off it, and the Phillies get a 2-0 win. It gave them a little bit of heart palpitations late in that game, but they came through. Their bullpen did their job as Aaron Nola pitched a gem. And lose a game I thought we could win, but it is what it is, and the Phillies win the series 2-1. Nola goes to 4-4, Cavalli to 4-3, and Duran his 21st save. Check out the box score. 2 hits for Marsh, both doubles. Clutch RBIs by Turner and Harper. Only have 1 walk. Nola 6 shutout innings. Bullpen gave up 3 hits and a walk, but no runs with 5 Ks. Our side, a bunch of guys with 1 hit. Clifford had 2, only 1 walk. Cavalli did not pitch bad at all. Bullpen pitched great. We just didn't get any offense this game, so credit the Phillies pitching. They shut us down. And I saw Jake Berger out here on the trade block, and we need power. We need power at first base. Somebody that could also fill in at third base. And I really want to put a trade offer out here for him. You can see 71 power against righties, 82 power against lefties. He has 70 clutch, can crush lefties as well. Doesn't have the greatest arm, can mostly play first, but third if we need to. And I want to try and put a trade offer together, see what they will take. We are going to try to, we'll offer him Chaparro and Jake Irvin, see if they will take that offer. And they want prospects or young MLB catcher first, second. Don't have a catcher or second base we can offer, so we're going to see Chaparro and Irvin will be enough to entice them to make this trade. Berger is a free agent at the end of the season, and hopefully that will be enough to get the deal done, or maybe they'll give us an idea what else they need. And take a look at the standings here. Nationals are a 1.5 games behind the Mets, half game ahead of the Braves, 1.5 games ahead of the Phillies. A very tight race here in the National League East, and on the wild card, we're number 2 spot behind the Pirates, just barely ahead of the Braves, Diamondbacks, and Cubs. Phillies have to be in there as well. So very tight race in our division and in the wild card race. So pretty it's too early in the season to get too excited, but we got a lot of work to do if we want to make the playoffs. And they rejected the trade outright. Doesn't fit our needs, and told us to revise the offer. So not what they're looking for. I just wanted to see if it would go through or not. Still think we can offer Chaparro. May have to change Irvin to someone else. And we see an injury down in Double-A. Catcher Kayla Lomavita, torn rotator cuff. He is out for the season, so that will definitely affect his progression. And we're going to have to put him on the 60-day DL, and his season's over, and that's too bad. Hoping to see him do well down there at Double-A this year. In our first blockbuster trade of the season, Tampa Bay gets Mackenzie Gore, who's on the injured list. I didn't know they could trade the injured guys in this game, and Brandon Nimmo from the Rangers. And they give up Theo Gillen, Adrian Santana, Caden Bodine, and Raynel Delgado. Rays going for it, trying to get that stud starting pitcher and a big bat for their outfield. One I forgot to mention I saw across the ticker in that game against Aaron Nola and the Phillies, Logan Webb threw a no-hitter, 19th no-hitter in Giants history. See, no runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Got a 12-0 win over the Diamondbacks. Got our first no-hitter of the year, not on our team. And just like that, we made the biggest trade in our brief time running the Nationals franchise. Saw Pasquantino was out there on the trade block, and I thought, hey, what the heck? I'll make a trade for that. They wanted a right fielder. Well, we picked up Jordan Walker off waivers, off free agency, so it didn't cost us anything for that. And I'm going to go in and edit and put Jack Caglione at first base so Walker can be their number one right fielder. And I saw Michael Wacha was on the trade block as well, and Cade Cavalli has been struggling. He just lost his last start, gave up 5 runs. And I thought, well, he's got options left. We can send him down to the minors, get him right again, maybe add a veteran pitcher to help our end of our rotation. And they wanted young major league players or prospects. We can give him the C potential. Alex Clemmie, I think he's 22, 24. DJ Herr's been trying to get rid of him because his clutch is so terrible. And we gave him Jordan Walker, who's young at 24, B potential 72 overall. So I threw the offer out there just to see what they would say, and bam, the very next day, we have a new cleanup hitter in Vinny Pasquantino, which means I probably will be moving James Wood to number 2 in the lineup, put Cruz third, and wow, that's more than I was expecting, and this new trade system is wild. You never know what it's going to take. I don't feel like we overpaid at all since we gave up a pitcher we didn't want, gave up a player we just added in a free agency, and a young prospect pitcher. So Wacha, I think he has 1 more year left in his contract, and I'm going to send Orelvis Martinez down to AAA and let Chaparro be our backup third baseman, even though he doesn't have the strongest arm. And yeah, there we go. Huge trade with the Royals. We'll have to make some roster changes to accommodate this. Michael Wacha is going to slot right in where Cade Cavalli was in the rotation, so you don't have to adjust anything there. He'll pitch on normal rest. With our lineups, Pasquantino comes in. He's got a back cleanup. Again, Abrams, Wood, Cruz, Pasquantino. Garcia's got great clutch. Young Lyle Kiebert struggling, and Wilkin down here batting ninth. Against lefties, pretty much the same lineup. Garcia hits much lower because he doesn't hit lefties as well. And with that trade, we decided to move Tom McVeigh up to AAA. He wasn't crushing it at AA, but we got an empty spot in the starting lineup. He can go up to AAA. He's already 21 years old anyway, bat leadoff and fill that spot. So that takes care of all of that. And then Orelvis Martinez goes down to AAA. We'll play with Jose Tena. And we have reached the last week of scouting. We just lost 3 in a row after winning 3 in a row. Actually, we had a losing road trip here. Lost 5 of 6 at LA and at San Diego. Came home, beat the Pirates 2 out of 3. And we lost the first 2 games against Miami. In the up and down stretch, we currently sit 4.5 games out in the National League East. On the wild card side, we are now 3 games back. So this trade is much needed if we want to stay in contention. Going to need that big power bat. Give James Wood some protection. And give us a veteran pitcher, hopefully get us back into this playoff race. Got half the season to go, and let's hop into the scouting right now. Going to get a look at this 65 to 99 potential catcher, somebody for late in the draft. Getting a look at this closer. He's the best closer I've seen. He's got a lot of green on there. He's in the yellow for everything but his stamina. 4-pitch mix, and we'll throw him out there and see how good he is. I don't expect him to come in at 99, but if he comes in at like, I don't know, 90, 85, I don't know, somewhere in there, he would be definitely usable. Go in here and look at the top. Jeremy Dunbar pretty much decided that's who we are going to take. Guaranteed B. Looks like he's going to be a high B, low A. In the 70s at 21 years old, can play all 3 outfield plus first base. Throws right-handed, so if we really want to move him to the infield, maybe third base or something, he's got the arm to go there. Definitely has the bat, and his fielding would be a little bit suspect. But he's 6'1", 184, so he's got the right build at least for third base, so that is always an option. Kenny Chesick, starting pitcher, kills righties, strikes him out like crazy. Decent stamina there, good clutch, doesn't have the greatest control, only a 3-pitch mix. Pete McKinnon, actually like him better. 4 pitches and more balanced across the board. Nick Fielder, didn't get him finished off. Seeing that 39 maximum strikeouts for lefties. When he's a lefty, that's not a good sign. And his 3-pitch mix. Got an injured player here. Didn't scout him because he was injured. Got this third baseman. Looks like he could come in the very high C, most likely a B, somewhere in the 60s at 19 years old. Can play first, second, and third. And really good bat. Defense is kind of but we'll see how that goes. that's a possibility for us to take in the second round. See how that goes. Okay, let's go down to starting pitchers. And we get out of the top 10. We got this non-rated Will Fox, guaranteed to be a B, possibly an A, in the 60s at 21 years old. Great stamina, great control. Well, relatively great control. But at 21, he's got to work on his per nines, but 5-pitch mix. Would not be opposed to taking him with one of our later picks. Here's another one. Ken North, guaranteed B, maybe even A, in the high 50s, low 60s at 21. Another one with great stamina and control. Have to work, get him worked up on his per nines. Worst case, these guys are trade bait, right? And there's another non-rated Billy Kim and Bernard Merca. Didn't get them scattered up all the way. Did get Howard Carlsberg. He's guaranteed B, maybe even A, but he's going to be in the 50s or high 40s. And he's got a long way to go. Didn't scout any relievers or closers. Looking at one closer right now. Got this guy scattered up. Thought he would be somebody for the first round maybe, and he fell back. And we just stopped looking at him. First base, nothing much here. Second base, we did get Alejandro Hernandez scouted, seeing if he was going to be somebody at the top. But good bat, not much of a glove. Good arm though, great speed. Looks like he'll top out as possibly a B in the 60s. Play second and short, but not going to be on our board because he's not going to be high enough to take in the first, and he'll go before our pick in the second. Third base, Taff said play first, third, second base. This is somebody definitely for the second round. Also found this non-rated Lewis Haynes, 18-year-old. Looks like he could be a high C, low B in the 60s to low 70s. Good bat, good power, good arm, decent speed. Just needs to work on his fielding. Samuels is overrated. Shortstop, haven't found anything there. Left field, of course, Dunbar, the number 1 pick. Center field, nothing really that stood out. The right field started scouting Costa. Never really finished him because his contact was going to be so low. So just not as many hitters as I thought, which is leading us to really look at Jeremy Dunbar with that first overall pick, even though he is 21 years old. It's just too good of a bat to pass up. And if we can't fit him on our lineup, somebody will in a deal. But that's what we're looking at for this draft. So I'll put our list together. We will get these last two guys scattered up, and then we will get into the draft in the very next episode. What I'm going to do right now is we're going to hop in here in this game against Miami with Mitchell Parker, and we're going to player lock on Vinny Pasquantino and watch him make his Washington Nationals debut. And welcome to Nationals Park here in Washington, D.C. as we get our first look at the Miami Marlins. And on the mound for us today, lefty Mitchell Parker. See his numbers on the season. Very respectable numbers. Wish he had a higher strikeout rate, but I do like the walk rate. And we're going to sim all of the at-bats for the Marlins. And we're going to watch Vinny Pasquantino make his debut with the Washington Nationals, get all of his ABs. So let's get going with this. Otto Lopez here in the first. Fly out. Stour singles. Double play gets him out of the inning. Abrams leading off against Max Meyer. Flies out. James Wood. Strikes out. Dylan Cruz. Grounds out. Go to the second. Get a double by Benson. Ground out. Strike out. Fly out. And now we get our first at-bat with Vinny Pasquantino in a Nationals uniform. And I'm not going to bat this time. I want to watch Vinny and see how he does in the sim. First pitch is a strike at the knees. Care about the Marlins record here. Let me do it this way. Vinny on the season, hitting .247, 10 doubles, 11 home runs, 34 RBI, only 28 walks, 70 strikeouts. Slugging percentage is way low compared to what he's done in the past, so I'm hoping for a rebound here. So you can see his ratings, 83 power against righties, 73 against lefties, great vision and clutch. Should be a great addition to this batting lineup. And the 0-1 pitch from Meyer. Ground ball third base, snag there. Throw across to first, and he's out for the first out here in the second inning. And Garcia reaches on an error. Young strikes out. Lyle singles, 2 on, 2 out. Milas lines out, go to the third. Get a walk, fielder's choice, a double play, go to the bottom half. Wilkin grounds out, CJ flies out, Wood grounds out to the fourth. Walk, error, strikeout, fly out, fly out. The bottom of the fourth, Cruz flies out. Now it's Vinny time. All right, second AB with Pasquantino facing Meyer. Rips that one foul down the right field line. Wasn't totally disappointed with Ryan Clifford, but we needed some serious power in the middle of the order. Hoping Vinny does just that. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Meyer. And it's going to be a tapper to second base. Scoop there, throw to first, and there are 2 down. Back to the quick manage. Garcia grounds out. Go to the 5th. Pop out. Strikeouts. Fly out. Bottom half. Double by Young. Lyle singles. It's 1-0. Nats. Fly out. A double by Wilkin. And he must have been thrown out at the plate. So man on second. 2 out. Abrams walks. James Wood flies out. Go to the 6th. Single. Walk. Fielder's choice. A man at the corner is 1 out. Single. It's tied at 1. Fly out. 1 more out. Come on, 1 more. There we go. Go to the bottom half. Cruz leading things off. He flies out. And let's watch Vinny bat his 3rd time. All right, Vinny's grounded out twice in 2 at-bats today. Takes a first pitch outside from Meyer. 1 for 11 in the series. Well, this is only his 3rd at-bat, so he hasn't been batting in this series. Must be counting his other series with Kansas City. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Meyer. And it's ripped foul down the right field line. Reset. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And almost hits him. So jump out of the way there. And Meyer's 2-1 pitch to Vinny. It's a high fly ball into right field, and that one is not coming back. There it is. Pasquantino's first hit with the Nationals. Solo shot to right center field as the fireworks go off. It's exactly what we were hoping to get. Gives us a 2-1 lead here late. Hopefully this trade will rejuvenate him and get him back to where he was 2 years ago. Absolute towering shot. See this replay. Pitch from Meyer. Belt high, and he lost it. As I said, high, towering shot. And everybody knew it. Look at the bench. 397 feet. All right, back to the sim. Now we have a 2-1 lead. Garcia grounds out. Young strikes out. Go to the 7th. Going to the bullpen. Bring in Webb. Gives a ground out, a ground out, a ground out to the bottom of the 7th. Lyle facing Cade Gibson. Pops out. Milas doubles. Wilkin strikes out. Abrams singles. It's 3-1. And try to steal and got caught. Now we go to the 8th inning. And let's go back to the bullpen. And we'll chance it with Kopech. Double. Not good. Fly out. A walk. And time for a new pitcher. Since he's already faced 3, let's go to Lucchese. Facing the lefty. He walks. Bases loaded. 1 out. Double play gets us out of the jam. Thank you. Go to the bottom of the 8th. James Wood pops out. Cruz singles. And now it's Vinny time. 1 for 3 with a home run. See if you can add another one here. It's not asking too much, is it? All right. It'll be the first time we get to see him face a left-handed pitcher today. He pitched number 25 from Cade Gibson. And it's a strike at the knees. 1 for 3. Ignore that series stuff. That's not this. This is his first game with Washington. So 1 for 3. Looking for an extra base hit to prove this lead from 3-1 to 4-1. And it's high. Gibson gets set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to be a ground ball second base. Scoop there. Throw to first. That's the 2nd out of the inning. Did move the runner up, though. That's going to be it for Gibson. They're taking him out of the game. And new pitcher. Long, flowing hair. Blake Backer. His number's on the year. Back to the sim. Garcia up, man on second, 2 out. He grounds out. We go to the 9th. And pitching change. Going to go to Fairbanks to try and finish this off. Ground out, strikeout, single, pinch hitter, Xavier Edwards, stolen base first. And a ground out, and the Nationals win. That's right, Nationals win. We salvage the Sunday game. Marlins lead the series 2-1. We have one more game on Monday. Mitchell Parker with the win. Fairbanks with his 31st save. And Vinny Pasquantino with a home run in his Nationals debut. Check the box score out. 2 hits for Lopez, 2 for Benson. No home runs for them. Meyer didn't pitch poorly at all. Cade Gibson gave up a run, though. Our side, bunch of guys with 1 hit. Darren Lyle with 2. Only struck out 4 times, but he only walked once. The big blow is the home run by Vinny Pasquantino. Gave us a 2-1 lead, and that was the difference in the game. Mitchell Parker, 1 run over 6 innings. Bullpen only allows 2 hits, 2 walks over the last 3 innings. And Fairbanks again gets his 31st save. And we're going to quickly sim this last game to get done with this homestand, see if we can split with Miami. And there's a trade before I can see the score. Nick Lodolo gets traded to the A's for Denzel Clark and Steven Echeverria. Interesting trade. And we lose the game 2-1. So we end up losing 3 out of 4 in the series. Looks like Kopech blew that one. White pitched well, our side. 2 hits for Lyle again. And no extra base hits. Lord didn't pitch poorly at all, but Kopech blew it late. So that puts us in second place, tied with the Braves, 5.5 games behind the Phillies. And we are still 2 games out on the wild card, chasing the Diamondbacks, Cubs, and Pirates. And that's going to wrap things up for this episode. I'm going to sim through these games, get us to draft day. We will start next episode with the draft, with the first overall pick. And then I don't think we'll have anybody in the home run derby. Could be James Wood. I highly doubt it. All-Star game, Futures game. We're just going to sim through all of that and get us on to the second half of this season. And we got a big week here with Miami and Philadelphia at the end of July up to the trade deadline. And then we follow that up with Atlanta and Miami. So we got a lot of division games coming up here at the end of the month. So we will definitely tune in and see some of those games. Hey guys, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, comment, share it out, hit that notification bell so you know when the next episode goes live, which will be the draft, our second draft with the Nationals. So you guys take care. Make sure you come back and check that out, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.